Hello and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. I am Susan Wilson, Group Vice President with Informatica. Today, I have the great pleasure of talking with Ioana Mazare, Vice President, Enterprise Data Strategy at UPS.
Especially as we're going through this digital transformation, more and more data is being created and from business functions like marketing and finance and customer service and supply chain, you name it, right? And the types of users are non-technical. They're loans
Oh,
and business users, so they're not used to getting access to technical systems and extracting the data themselves. They want to be able to access it for insight, for decision making. Um, how are you effectively democratizing data and empowering those data users? I would love to hear a bit more about how you're doing that.
yeah, that's a great point. And because we have more data and more information, we are responsible for curating it, for cataloging the information, and to make sure that it's clearly defined, that you have information about information, right? That metadata about data in analytics to make sure that we cut through the volume and get the value very quickly. And so democratizing data for us starts with business ownership of data, right? Who is better at curating, controlling data, and stewarding the data than people who know it best and know its value because they work with it every single day? And so we make that data available in the cloud on our side to enable self-service. However, those stewards are key because they are really the gatekeepers. Self-service doesn't mean a free-for-all. Self-service still means responsible use and access to information that it's relevant, and that it's made available to those who need to use it. And so, again, democracy comes with responsibility. And I think this model of assigning ownership is the best way to democratize create a free space within a certain framework. It's going back to that centralized framework that everyone adheres to, but making sure that we allow innovation at the edge. I mentioned the marketplace, the data catalog. So we are using that platform to bring the data and analytics from around the company. And that's the place where all that information about information resides. We have quality dashboards. We have information about how policies affect access and use of information. And so everyone can search and find what's available and much, much more. It's all about a partnership and making sure that we put structure and we continue to understand what that structure needs to look like.
I really do think that there's some incredible opportunities by that democratization that you described. There's pride of ownership of a data owner saying that this is a data asset. I'm a data, producer, and then getting others, to find those data assets, collaborate. There's that human cultural aspect too of pride of ownership, connecting with others, sharing of expertise, acceptable use, all of that, being able to find the data more quickly and connect those subject matter experts. Because you said something earlier about, all change having about 70% of it is about the human aspects, and we've got to get that piece right. So I loved how you described how that's happening there in terms of democratization. Now, double clicking on data-driven culture, because you talked a lot about that. And also your program, I'm not sure if you call it a data literacy program or data fluency program, but you also described that earlier in our conversation. And I really loved how you described the framework, how the teams come together. I'd love to come back to this one a bit more because a lot of leaders, this was their top priority this year in building in a data literacy program, getting more of the business working edge, more closer to leveraging data, but they had to build in a program to meet those roles where they're at, develop an enablement program, develop, if you will, the expectations within the role. So this question is about measuring. How do you measure the business value of initiatives tied to data culture and literacy? How are you able to do that there at UPS?
So I'll start with answering your question about or describing more about our data fluency program, which is really part of the culture. And Susan, you heard me talk about value. We talk about quality, governance, culture, communication, fluency. They're all related. You can't have one without the other. So everything is interconnected. And that was the name of the game for UPS for the last 116 years of history. We've been adapting over the years to new market expectations, innovating the market, and building smart networks and capabilities. And that always meant learning and adopting new skills to collaborate across the enterprise. And that's part of our culture. Look, if we don't all speak the same language, if we don't understand each other's work, we won't be as successful as we could be. And so to leverage that digital transformation that UPS is undergoing right now, and to successfully get to insights and wisdom, our employees need to do the same thing. You can't have tools and capabilities without people. So it's essential to engage everyone, to motivate employees, to make them part of the journey, make them understand they are part of the journey, that then upskilling is one way that everyone can contribute and do their part.
Oh, that's great. Better engagement, better retention, increasing the customer, your UPS employees, the meaning of their role and the value creation that they're making within as a result of these programs. That's so powerful. Ioana, I could spend another hour with you. I really could. This has been so incredible hearing about not only your personal journey, but how you are helping deliver value. You are delivering value and a cultural change to everyone there at UPS and being data driven and leveraging that for business insights. I want to thank you so much for sharing your points of view, your best practices, where you are in the journey and where you're going. Thank you so much for your time.
Susan, I appreciate the opportunity. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Yes. And again, congratulations for the Global Data Power Women's List. You truly very well deserved. We're very excited about that. And to our audience, thank you. Please visit cdomagazine.tech for more additional interviews. Thank you all.
Thank you.